just doing a quick astrodoodle for today because it's kind of a freak day. Might as well get it on record. Okie dokie, let's have a look. time for a little bit of commentary, then we'll just get on with the day, okay? I'm not going to be here long, folks. Hello, Ivona. Sorry, I'm just going to stop the song. Okay. Hello. This is spontaneous. It's a Friday early afternoon. Gotta get going here. I just couldn't resist. I'm sorry. Look at this. Look at this freak show. Ha! Talk about sacred geometry in the making. My own personal opinions right now is that like everything is perfect. Everything is exactly as it should be. How is that so? Why is that so? It's because it can't be any other way. I've said that many, many times. It's just that we get very rare moments like this where it's all so perfect. All the really, really scary stuff is happening at the same time as some beautiful things are happening. This thing here is called a grand cross or a grand square. It happens to be in the fixed signs: Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus. So those are all the fixed signs. So you might be feeling something in a very personal way today. But this is affecting everybody on Earth one way or another, or not, depending on where the hot spots are where the hot spots are in your own charts. Okay. So typically when you get like a massive grand cross like this, it's a super hyper stressful moment where it's a tremendous opportunity for learning, change, and busting out from any kind of status quo. It's a very kind of crushing pressure. The real pressure, of course, here is on the nodal axis. Just look at that. Exactly 18 degrees, moon on the south node, Scorpio, while the north node is on Taurus, closely aligned with Mars and Uranus. I didn't put that in there. Oh, give me a second. That's the symbol for Taurus, by the way. But I forgot to put Mars. It's right in there. And Uranus is right in there. Okay? So, as I've been saying for weeks, it's all about global finance. The global financial system is under incredible pressure right now to evolve and change and grow. The way I see it, evolve and change and to grow into something radically new and different, and I'd like to add truthful and bearing reality, deeply based in reality. Of course, that's a huge problem for the folks up here, the elites, because they've been enjoying their massive scheme since 1913, and they've done very well. Of course, it's all done through war and currency manipulation, expansion, and all those fun things. But it's all kind of coming unraveled, because at the same time that they're pushing their massive global agenda, the more and more they push it, the more and more obvious it becomes to the globe. The global agenda is becoming obvious to the globe. That's us. The globalists include the rest of humanity. It isn't just 10,000 people up here at the very top of the banks and the corporations and the, let's say, organizations, the technocracies, the, what are they called? NGOs, a lot of those three-letter places that basically own and control, operate the earth, and where governments and banks and everything do their bidding, just basically like the United States, you know. Of course, the United States as a population has benefited tremendously, but it is a very turbulent experiment that we have here in America. So here it is. It's a massive, massive, powerful opposition. It's not a perfect Grand Cross, it hardly ever is, but it's damn close, okay? Now, the moon will move on, of course, in a few hours. In a day or so, it'll be over here. So this sort of will disappear. But then again, do you see this big, fat, harmonious thing Venus in Cancer, Venus being one of the things that rules and represents money. Scorpio is one of the money signs. Okay? And so there's a lot of harmony, because I can vouch, I personally believe that there is some incredible magic going on behind the scenes, especially in the world of crypto, that is a contrary, or let's say energy field that balances out the pressure coming from the elites. The elites are trying to force a massive global shift in financial reality, which is very detrimental to billions and billions of people, but it's for their benefit. And there's another thing going on, but I'm not going to talk about it or mention names, but it's basically the complete polar opposite. It represents sovereign money for the sovereign individual, and it works outside of the existing system as a parallel system. It's still extremely early days in development, but there is a structure being formed, and it's going to take years and years to do this, to create this vertical system of a currency that has recognizable value across the world, and it has a way to integrate, and it has a way to, let's say, correlate value, and it has a way to grow value in a way that would be natural, like in the old days in America, where, for example, you could work hard, save hard, put it in the bank, and you would earn money through passive interest. I'm not going to go into the details of banking systems back then, but that's how a lot of people operated. Of course, that has been utterly destroyed and perverted now by the elites. And enough people across planet Earth are sick of it. All you have to do is look at the global news on places like the Epoch Times and stuff, where you can actually get real news from across the world, truthful news, and you will see what's actually happening. In America, you don't see it. We don't get to be informed of these things. But it's absolutely beautiful. And it's there's a lot of, let's say, discomfort and revolutionary energy that's going on because of the financial disruptions. There are literally billions, probably about 2 billion people on Earth right now who are being crushed and pulverized by this newly evolving system that these folks are trying to propagate across Earth. They're trying to make it look like this utopian agenda that's going to be in the best interest of everybody under what they call, I'm not going to even mention names here, but it's like a big technocracy, the one world kind of government type of thing. But it doesn't take into account that each of us are actually individuals. And a lot of us who are individuals actually like being an individual. Now, there are a lot of people in certain places of the world that don't really know what it's like to be an individual. They were harvested very, very young and very early and turned into slaves. And there are hundreds of millions of them still across the world. They don't know anything else except slavery. Literal, real live slavery. And we the people here in the United States and Western Europe in particular have enjoyed the benefits of the slave camps in those other countries. But it's all coming unraveled. So just as something very scary is happening across Earth and people are starting to wake up and realize it, they're starting to look at their bank accounts, they're starting to look at prices for gasoline and oil and food and so on, which is planned. And it's inevitable. It's part of the crushing mechanism to destroy and pulverize the soul of any sense of sovereignty of self for humanity and for countries, for the soul, and to crush the soul and replace it with a technocratic overlayer that is managed by artificial intelligence and the people who manage that intelligence. Again, I don't want to mention too many names because there's plenty of channels now that are talking about that stuff. A lot of them get shut down or blocked, and I don't want to do that. I've already dealt with all of that. I'm sick of it. So I'm being very kind of cryptic in my notes here today. But please trust me that everything is exactly as it should be. All the really terrifying, frightening things that are happening on Earth today that are being perpetrated by our so-called leaders is inevitable. They're just doing their job according to a script that is being handed to them by certain organizations. And then there's folks like us, we the people, that, well, I'm referring to myself, anyone who aligns with people like myself, we've figured it out. And we're not on board with this thing. So we have to kind of play this like charade game and live in the meantime. Hello, Diana. Hello, Ivona. And we will find an alternative parallel life, okay? So that's what's happening here. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and it shows up here in the geometry. It's a beautiful day, people. It shows you that even though things are extremely ugly on planet Earth, and a lot of it is being basically engineered by a small handful of humans and thrust upon billions of other humans for the benefit of a few, there is hope for humanity. Okay? Sometimes it requires mind-boggling leaps of faith into concepts and information and knowledge that you would never have known existed until it's coming up and presented to you hard in the face. And that's what's happening. I'm one of the lucky ones, I feel, because I figured this out long ago. I wrote a book about it and so on and so on. But the vast bulk of humanity are not aware. They're only becoming aware when things in their personal lives or their personal countries become so bad that you cannot not see it. All right, there we go. Please make the best of this. It's a beautiful thing. Anybody who's got any issues or any questions, you can email me over here at alittlebookabout@yahoo.com. You can make donations, help me to please keep this channel going. You can donate over here, terraillumination.com, to the donate button. It just takes you to a PayPal payment processor, and you can swipe a card. You don't have to have a PayPal account or anything. Okay? So, yeah, and by the way, while we're here, if anybody wants a book of reading, you can do that too. I'm just mentioning that. You just go to the readings page and it explains itself. There you go. Thank you very much. And so I want to leave you with that. It's been wonderful. Take care. And this is only going to last. It's been building up for a few days. It's here right now. It's going to fizzle out in a few days, but I've seen indicators online that confirm everything that I've just been talking about it. The absolutely staggering beauty and wonder of humanity to reconfigure itself in the face of massive, crushing oppression. It is mind-boggling. The caterpillar turns into the chrysalis, turns into the butterfly. Cheerio.